Ben Simmons to the Kings. Hold your horses, y'all. From all the public reports surfacing around the internet, it seems like that could seem less likely to happen even after the sportsbooks had the Kings as the favorites to land Ben Simmons at plus 250. For the gambling newbies, that means you would profit $250 if you wagered $100. But with so much pressure on Monty McNair to help the Kings build a roster that will end this awful playoff drought, I don't think it's entirely dead yet. I mean, why would the Kings quit on trying to land a star? Yes, I said star because that's exactly what Ben Simmons is. That's not debatable. His resume speaks for itself. The NBA coaches I've spoken to validated how much they would love to have a player like Ben Simmons. The casual fan will say, well, he passed up on a layup in the playoffs, or he's scared to shoot, so that makes him a trash player? Even though that did happen in the playoffs and he has been reluctant to shoot, that doesn't mean he's not a great player. He impacts the game in so many ways. The funny thing is, the Kings need help in all the areas where Ben Simmons excels in.
What kind of place is this?
Ben's a top 5 defender, and you can make the argument that he's the best. So I want to show you guys the very first defensive possession of the Wizards versus the Sixers in the playoffs, where we understand that Ben Simmons is guarding their best player in Bradley Beal, and he's chasing him out. We know that Bradley wants to come off a down screen into a dribble handoff, so then he would have the option to go downhill or just stop for that midi shot that he loves. But Ben Simmons reads the play, which again, shout out to him for watching the film and just understanding what Bradley loves to do. He takes that away from him. He stays in the play, he relocates, he chases him, right? He's still on him, and he's doing a great job. Now you got to trust your teammates to do the right thing, and they did, because they settled for Alex Len's push shot, which again, no disrespect to him, I know he's a king now, but again, I'm gonna live with this shot 10 out of 10 times, because I understand that if I can make life difficult or just take the ball away from Bradley Beal, I'm going to live with that. But it's after what happens, right? And it's just a beautiful thing to watch, because the versatility that Ben Simmons provides, right, in transition as a big man is just so valuable. The fact that he can just go downhill full speed against anybody. If it's a guard, it's barbecue chicken in the paint. If it's a big guy, well, guess what? He's blowing by him, especially in transition. Just think about all of the things that the Kings can do with a guy that's 6'10" with point guard skills, right? Let's take a look at another defensive possession where he just excels in, and he rattles Bradley Beal early in the game, and he's in his head because he knows what he wants to do, where you see Russell making the bad pass, he's reading the passing lanes, just a great thing to watch. And then in transition, where the Kings are just awful, right? You have a guy that's 6'10", can move his feet so well, and even against guys like Russell Westbrook, no problem. I'm going to guard him, and I'm going to make him make a decision and then ultimately make a mistake. That is great defense. Pound your chest, Ben Simmons. You deserve that, young man. And then on this last one, just all of the things that I've thought about in terms of defensive packages, defensive schemes that you can do. When you have a guy that's 6'10", again, and extremely versatile, you can do things like this. Just imagine Ben Simmons and Richaun Holmes hard hedging like that. Ooh-wee, it's going to be fun to watch if it ever happens, man. So, again, it's nice to think about what this team could be with Davion Mitchell and Ben Simmons at the point of attack defensively. That'll be so fun to watch if it ever does happen. And on this last play, let's show one of the things that I despise about Ben Simmons. And we see him coming from the weak side to set up a dribble handoff with Tobias Harris, which then gets him going downhill because Joel Embiid sets the screen, which he pops. He gets a good shot because, well, Alex Len bites on that shot. You kind of have to. But if you look at Ben Simmons at 6'10" and having a guy like Bradley Beal guard you, this is what I hate. And it's him not attacking the glass, potentially tapping that ball back to his teammates, because there's no way that Bradley Beal could guard him in the paint. these little things that are winning plays, right? The things that Draymond Green does. Can he be a better version of Draymond Green? I truly believe so. The Kings need more playmaking. Yes, even with Tyrese and De'Aaron. And guess what? Ben is one of the best playmakers in the NBA. And for some that may be confused on playmaking, it doesn't have to be in the form of Ben being a point guard on this specific team, but rather a point forward. So if you're thinking Rajon Rondo, hold the ball until the shot clock ends to then make the pass, as I like to say, a selfish passer, that doesn't have to be Ben Simmons on this specific team. He's a good rebounder, and guess what? The Kings ranked 30th, dead last in rebounding per game last season. He can push the pace at his size and make opposing defenses make mistakes in transition, because that means Fox and Mitchell would be running the lanes with that blazing speed. Oh my goodness, you can hear it in my voice. That is super exciting to think about. The versatility Ben provides is insane, and the Kings would instantly become 10 wins better. To address the elephant in the room though, the question I've been asked plenty of times on Instagram in my DMs is, are you willing to part ways with Tyrese? And the smart response has always and should always be yes. But because I am a Kings fan and I'm also guilty of being conditioned to stay loyal to fan favorites, my heart says no. But if I removed myself from being a fan and looking at it from an outsider's perspective, why on earth wouldn't you pull the trigger knowing Ben Simmons is locked up long term and only 25 years old? The Kings would go from worst defensive team in NBA history to top 5 with Simmons and Mitchell as your upgrades. And this may seem like I'm throwing Tyrese under the bus, but I'm not. I actually believe he will have multiple seasons where he plays at an all-star level and makes the game. He makes everyone around him better, but the 76ers should not make that deal without Tyrese in it. That's the non-biased Leo Biaz talking, okay? In a perfect world, yeah, keeping Tyrese and adding Ben would make the Kings a top 6 team instantly in the West, but we must be realistic. If you were on the other side, say you're a Sixers fan, you would want Tyrese too. Let's keep it real. And even with all that said, there will be fans taking my words out of context and claim that I don't think Tyrese is good, or even worse, I don't like him. I've seen this too many times. But that's far from the truth, because I wouldn't mind going into this season with this roster. But I would prefer adding Ben Simmons as the perfect way to cap off this offseason. Now, whether or not the Kings can land Ben is a different question. But as of today, it seems less likely, but it's always fun to imagine what it would look like if they pulled the trigger. Also, a huge shout out to Valley Tire Center and their sister store, Radio Tire of Walnut Grove, because on September 9th, they are having the first ever Dash to the Delta event. It's a great community event. Hope to see you guys there. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoy quality basketball content like podcasts, film breakdowns, and live reactions on game days, Basketball Zone provides frontline coverage of the NBA every single day. I'll see you on the next video.